All right, good morning, everybody. Welcome to Friday Team Call. Glad to see you all hopping on this morning. Bright, shining faces. Let me do some administrative muting here to make sure we don't have anything going off in the middle of call. All right, let's get this kicked off. Oops, hang on a second here. Let me get the screen share started on the whoops. Hang on, I got to switch from music to PowerPoint. There we go. Now we're cooking. And share. All right. Kicking off here. All right, gang, let's hit some leaderboards here. Now, these leaderboards were pulled as of last night at 10 p.m. So if you're entering stuff this morning, it's not showing up. That's why numbers will probably be a little bit skewed, but obviously for us to get leaderboards ready to go for this morning, we've got to work and get this into the PowerPoint. So anyway, just be aware if numbers don't look completely accurate. And then obviously we have the fact that Friday turn in, there is that business that we try to capture on Monday with our leaderboard that we send out, but our Fearless Friday leaderboard. But leaderboards we're hitting this morning is as of 10 p.m. last night. So for the week now, we are doing 2 weeks too, because we had last week we were off for Leaders Retreat, had a phenomenal time. Just an amazing meeting here in Table Rock Lake, Missouri area, and just a blast and a lot of great leadership development. So shout out to Stella and Donna who were there, and the rest of you we want to see you at the next one. Make sure you get there and join us in the party. So so far for the week, we have 75 apps, $64,873. That was as of last week. Sorry, that was last week's numbers. 29 riders. We had top agency, John Paul Vetter agency with 40,484. Our base shop is 16,119. And Stella Dinwiddie agency at $8,269. Top producers for last week, going in reverse order, Mark Lopez had 2 applications, $3,095. Jim Arch, 3 applications, $3,370. Donna Bates, 4 applications, $3,445. Lionel Anderson, 6 applications, $5,572, and Spencer Kushian, 8 applications, $10,859, $10,000 week, gang. That is getting it done. Great job, Spencer. Key leaders, we had Jenny Gray, 16 applications, $11,409. Joanna Doyman, 11 applications, $8,504, and Eric Sullivan, 1 application, $166. No new riders as of last week. For this week, we have so far, and again, as of through last night, 46 applications, $39,937. Month to date, we're on track for $183,659, 20 riders. We have the John Paul Vetter agency, 29 apps, $22,160. The Menifee Base Shop, 16 applications, $17,537. And the Dinwiddie agency, I know this is out of date because more business is pouring in, but so far 1 application, $239 for the week. Top producers, reverse orders, Lionel Anderson, $1,976. Stacy Love, 5 applications, $3,449. Spencer Kushian, 4 applications, $6,378. Joanna Doyman, 6 applications, $6,900. And Donna Bates, look at that, leading from the front, 6 applications, $7,269. Great week, Donna. Key leaders, we have Joanna Doyman, 9 applications, $9,507. Jenny Gray, 5 applications, $3,612. And Eric Sullivan, 4 applications, $3,042. I know Joanna is on an AO run, and I believe 2 months in, working on that 3rd month. Jenny keeps tagging the numbers. She's trying to put 3 months together. So we'll be seeing these ladies as agency owner very, very soon. I would say very good chance Joanna by the end of the year, and even possibly Jenny by the end of the year. And then Eric's coming in, and he's still growing the team. So could see him breaking out as AO by end of the year or first of next year. So add your name to this list, gang. All right, let's look at top producers for the month. And top 10 so far, we have Jenny Gray, $55,586. Tanya Hoffman, $7,500. Mark Lopez, $8,587. Lionel Anderson, $8,707. Stacy Love, 6 applications. Oh, excuse me, number 6. Excuse me. All right, it's a little mini stroke there. Don't worry about me. I'm doing good. $9,919. Joanna Doyman, $10,266. Sydney Lee, $10,831. Number 4 spot. Stella Dinwiddie just edged her out, and I think actually we might want to look at the numbers there. That seems very odd that they both have exactly $10,831. But hey, if they did that, go to the casinos, because you're going to be winning some money to hit those numbers. Stella Dinwiddie, number 3 spot. Donna Bates, 2 applications. Number 2. Donna Bates, $11,057 for the month. And number 1, Mr. Spencer Kushian, putting together another monster month, $22,690. Guys, that is an awesome month. Great job, Spencer. Application lead counts. So we've got Lorinda Thompson, 6 applications. Stephanie Stubbs, 6 applications. Jenny Gray, 7. Chad Semper, 8 applications. Stella Dinwiddie, 9 applications. Donna Bates, 11 applications. Joanna Doyban, 12 applications. Lionel Anderson, Stacy Love, tied at 13 applications. Spencer, obviously top APV, points to most likely top app count in 17 applications. Spencer has been seeing these golden chickens flying around, has decided he wants to get in the mix and grab some golden hardware. So keep up the work. Now, I will warn you, Spencer, that you now have a target on your back. So I would be pushing hard and adding applications, because that is a highly coveted award. All right, let's look. Whoops, hang on. There we go. Base shops month to date. We have the better base shop, $112,461. Menifee base shop, $44,107. And the Dinwiddie base shop at $27,089. App counts, number 1, the Vetter Agency, 119 applications. The Menifee Agency, 42 applications, and the Dinwiddie Agency at 21 applications. New riders. Guys, we got some 5 new riders so far. We need to add to this number. Sean Harden, Oscar Sorto, Esperanza Jenkins, Vivian Velez, and Philip Pavleka. And I'm sure I'm going to have to create or correct all of those names. They threw some curves at me this week.
Easy for you to say.
Yeah, right. Yeah. Digital lead orders, standing lead orders. Keep in mind, guys, if you want quick access to Switchboard, this is your cut in front of the line. But we strongly recommend, just aside from Switchboard, a quick note here on standing orders in general. Keep in mind, guys, this is a business. Leads are your inventory. So you want to make sure that you have leads in your hand every week. As you call through and doing your activity, you're basically taking inventory off the shelves. You got to replenish that. And use that visual a lot of times, folks. And when we think about it as a business and leads as our inventory that we're putting on the shelves for customers to come in and buy, in this case, we're going out and finding the customers, but you've got to have people to talk to. So standing lead order talk to your upline is smart business sense. And there are ways to put this together on any kind of budget, any type of lead mix. So take advantage of the opportunity to be able to make sure that your business is always funded with fresh leads and fresh opportunities. So enough said about that, but reach out to your upline and find out how to set that up. S'mores, we always highlight this because, especially for you new entering agents, a wonderful opportunity to give yourself some raises very, very quickly. And there's the traditional track, which was 2-month qualifiers for every commission raise from that 70% moving on up. But the company has put in place for a limited time the opportunity to actually cut that process in half. So hitting these raises in 1 month, a little bit higher APV, but if you talk with your mentor, we'll show you how that's actually in a month's time a very low bar that they set to hit, and basically give yourself, as Spencer says, give yourself a 15% raise in your first 90 days. Where can you go? Literally, where can you go in the world and do that? Find a position where you give yourself a 15% raise. That just doesn't exist. Most people, most companies will give you a 2% raise at the end of the year, and that's in a popcorn basket. So
hey, Chris,
give yourself 15%. Yeah.
Sorry, can I add something to that s'more? Because that's so amazing. I love that you're covering that because it's so possible. The one thing that I've noticed that we've all missed on is you have to remember you need to get at least 3 of the 4 weeks. You have to get applications in, even if it's just one app, because we've had a couple of people miss that, they met the APV, but if you don't get an even if it's one application, that you get in on that 3rd week, because sometimes people come in and write a whole bunch of business and then take their foot off the gas and think, oh, I made it. It's put in intentionally to keep you consistent. So I just wanted to add that one piece to just make sure, because I know that we missed that once. Thanks.
Yeah, no, that's a great point. I'm glad you brought that up, Stella, because there are some qualifiers there. And again, get with your upline mentor. The details are laid out in how to hit those qualifiers. This is high level. And the reality is, if you're hitting these numbers, there's a good chance that you're going to be hitting that promotion. But some of the smaller moving pieces, we got to pay attention to that too. And again, they're not designed to knock you out of the running. In fact, it's very easy to manage if we're just intentional about paying attention to that. So yeah, thank you, Stella. That's a good point. We gotta make sure we stay on top of that. Talking about, whoops, there we go. Guys, this training has just been phenomenal. Really next level. I'm going to talk a little bit more about it here in kind of the meat of the call and reference it a couple of times. But while I have it up, be taking screenshots, make sure that you're blocking this out on your calendar. And this is next level stuff, guys. It truly is not hyperbole here. This is top level training. So, and the thing I love about it is Symmetry is rolling this out, 8 weeks of this stuff for free. And if you've ever looked at Jeremy Miner's stuff, they charge a pretty penny for it, and they should, because you going through this, you will make infinitely times more than what you've invested in it. But the company put this in place, and this is, I would say this is kind of entry level, but the entry level that you're getting here will take you places that you can't even imagine in terms of communication and sales conversion. So take that screenshot, go check it out on HQ. Quick announcement. So next week, next Thursday, this is an 8-week program, but there was 1 week, and it happens to be next Thursday, where they will not have this training. Jeremy actually had another event planned. I'm sure those things are planned, months, if not a year in advance. And so that 1 week they were not able to work around. So next week we will not have the training, but it will pick up the following week. So I would be blocking that out on your calendar. Take advantage of that. So this will be the next one. So you can see, and again, this is on HQ. So if you want to go read through exactly what we're studying, and all the previous recordings are there too. So you want to go back, even if you've been attending those, go back and rewatch them. I mean, you got to watch this stuff over and over again. So take advantage of that resource. Champions Cup. We've got several people that have been keep tagging these numbers. So, those of you who are out there doing steady production, pay attention to this. You may accidentally find yourself going to and I air quotes accidentally, nothing's accidental, but if you're not paying attention to this, you may be in the running for this and not even realize it. And that's the accident part. So make sure you're intentional, follow those numbers, follow what it takes to qualify for this. Excuse me. Highlight the DFL Foresters IBC credit. Guys, this is for people who are DFL certified. I keep this in here because, again, that DFL program, we've got a great DFL producer on the team, Sydney Lee. And if you don't want to take the time or in the investment to go do that, certainly plug into Sydney and be looking for these opportunities. But I also encourage you, this is a piece that you could add to your business, and every one of your clients, especially if you're selling mortgage protection, needs this, because they reached out to you for mortgage protection, meaning they have debt, and Debt-Free Life is all about eliminating debt. So take advantage of that, gang. Symmetry Fall Blitz, we've obviously had some dates happen. We've got upcoming dates this week. Phoenix, Arizona, Boise, Idaho, Baltimore, Maryland, St. Louis, Missouri, Grand Rapids, Michigan, and Orange, California. If you're building a team, pay close attention to this. And if you've got somebody within driving distance, even if it takes them a flight, guys, these are mini conferences. And these events are pivotal. Getting people to these, I love talking to Marshall Whalen and, the top agency in Symmetry. And, Marshall started back before we had all the toys and the fun stuff that we have to play with, where we were still writing paper applications, going into homes. When you got your applications written, you fax them into the home office. For some of you kids that don't know what faxes are, it's too complicated to explain. You would actually feed paper into a telephone. I don't know why, but you did. So that's the kind of that's the kind of business that Marshall came into, and has built this multi-million-dollar organization. And he will tell you it's all about butts and seats. It's all about getting people to these events. You'll be the most silver-tongued salesperson and the best recruiter, but if you don't get people to these events, you're setting yourself back. You're wasting your time. So as you get people on board, this should be part of your process, gang. So as you get people in, make sure you're looking at this list. And if they're within 4, 5, 6 hours of one of these, tell them you've got to get to this event. You just have to. Whatever you got to do, move your schedule around, drop things, get to one of these events. Okay.
Chris, I'm sorry. Can I add one quick thing on that one too, please?
Yeah, please.
So for anybody that is not contracted and with access to HQ, it's hard for them to register. So like last night, Jason new on our team doesn't have HQ access. I registered him for the next one in Phoenix, Arizona. I went online. So if you have new people that, they don't have access to HQ, unless you know of a different place for them to register at, the only place I could figure out was actually going into HQ and registering him. So I registered him and his wife.
Okay. No, that's a great point. Thank you, Stella. Yeah. So do make sure you register the folks, just so those running the venues can kind of get a head count. But I will say this too, make sure when you know you have somebody going, reach out to your upline, reach out to us. Find out who's going to be there. If you're not going to be there yourself, find out who from the Whalen hierarchy is going to be at those events. and let's get them hooked up with those individuals. Let's get them a contact point, even if it's just one person that they can walk up, introduce themselves. And what I love about the culture of what Symmetry's put together is it doesn't matter that they are not direct to Ryan Miller or Andrew Jimenez or, Jamie Susie. They can go up, introduce themselves. Hey, I'm direct to Stella Dinwiddie, and this is, kind of my first meeting, and they're going to treat them as if they were one of their team. And hey, wow, welcome. You've made a great decision. This is a great company. Your mentor is an awesome mentor. You need to plug into them. I mean, they're going to do everything they can to reinforce not only the system, but you as a mentor and a leader. So again, get people to these events. Let us know that you've got people going to these events. Let's find out who we're going to have there from our organization, from the Wayland organization, and we'll get them hooked up and make sure that they feel welcome and taken care of. All right, and that list I think is actually going to be updated. There, I know some new dates were being added and new stops. I know Atlanta and Vegas are the two that I've heard so far. So, and I'm sure there'll be more. So keep that list refreshed. Just keep going HQ and keep checking that out. Again, especially if you have somebody that you're recruiting in your area and you don't see an event in that area, just keep checking back because they are adding dates. My Quilty Concierge. So My Quilty gang, they keep talking about this. This program, basically a chance to win a $5,000 vacation, all for promoting My Quilty. What is My Quilty? Well, I encourage you to go on HQ and read about it. But if you're brand new, it is a free program. So my first thing is, if you can't sell free, then we probably got some problems. You've probably done the right business to start with. But this is a phenomenal program, guys. My Quilty. Discounts on things that you buy every day. And they said something the other day, and it kind of caught me, and I need to slow down on this. But Ethan Drum was talking about, hey, testimonials. We want to hear testimonials. So I got to give one, guys. We had the leaders retreat in Branson last weekend, and part of that was getting people from the airport down to the lake house. And so I created my own shuttle, basically. And by doing that, I went and rented a minivan. I did it through My Quilty. And guys, I mean, I was getting quotes for like $300 a day for a minivan, and went on to My Quilty and found it for $145, $140, $150 a day. I mean, this program, I'm getting ready to put tires on my vehicle. I went on and I've got 2 or 3 different tire shops in my area. One of them is $10 over cost. Another's a 10% off the entire package. I mean, guys, it's stuff I'm going to spend money on anyway. And why not do it through My Quilty, get the discounts, but also as an agent with My Quilty, anything that you buy, anything that your clients buy, and again, be introducing this to everybody. This should be part of your presentation from now on. Anything, and you should be signing everybody up. That's the other thing. You have to sign them up and help them get into this system. And anything that they spend money on, dining out, purchases, travel, medications. Again, that's kind of the core of how this program started, medications, all that stuff, gang. You get bonus points on that. Bonus points can be converted into cash, into lead credit, into tangibles. If you want, there's a full list of products that you can obtain through the My Quilty system. So, guys, devil's in the details. Be paying attention to these details and make this part of your process and your presentation. And we're excited to announce Miss Stella Dinwiddie is a book club that she is starting on Thursdays. And guys, I'm excited about this. And I know there's a lot of things that go on every week, but sometimes you gotta work on your business. You gotta take time off your business to work on your business. And this is a great one, especially for those of you who are building a team and you know, wanting to become a better coach, a better leader, put this on your calendar. You can see the dates and times there, the meeting ID, get a screenshot. We'll be posting it up on Crew, obviously, as time gets closer. But let's take time out, go to this book club, guys, and plug in. You know, time for association, but also time for personal growth and development. And you know, hats off. Thank you to Stella for really just, you know, taking the initiative and putting this together. And you know, that is leadership right there. You know, I think sometimes we wait for things to get developed, or we wait for somebody to, you know, at the top to take the reins and you know, make these things happen. Love that Stella just, you know, said, hey, you know what, I want a book club, and I'm just going to put it together. So thank you, Stella. There's the information. One announcement that we haven't put on, and it's only because I didn't send it to Ash, and we're still in well, I've developed it, just haven't put the graphic together. I'm going to start a new hire welcome call every week, guys, and this is going to be very, very informal. There's not going to be an agenda. We're not going to be trying to, you know, train people on the system. On, you know, we're going to be welcoming people into the team and making them feel welcome. You all are welcome to attend. I would love, especially you leaders, to be a part of that. But this is all about, you know, those new hires, those people you get onboarded. Bring them in, because we're really going to focus on those new hires. You know, who are they? Where are they from? Tell us about their family. What are they excited about? You know, and just let them know that this is a team and an organization where, you know, we want this to be more about connection and family and support. So that will be on Wednesdays. Every Wednesday, 7 p.m. Central. Do your time conversions. Maybe Ash, when she's putting together the graphic, can put some time conversions on there for all of us who struggle with different time zones. And so I know where I need to be in my time zone. You will be responsible for where you need to be in your time zone, and we'll leave it at that. But we try to make it late enough that, you know, folks in different time zone, if they're working, they can get off work or be getting off work and join us, but not too late for those of us, for those on the East Coast, needing to get to bed early. So, all right, gang. So Wednesday nights, 7 p.m. That will be starting this week. And I don't actually remember. That's 26, I think. Yeah, this should be the 26th. So put that on. We'll be putting out a graphic on that later. So
Hey, Chris, what are the times again? I saw 3 different time zones. I missed it. I missed it for me.
Well, it's going to, so the new agent welcome is going to be Wednesday night, 7 p.m. Central. And we'll get the other time zones on the graphic.
So the 11 a.m. Mank one is canceled?
No, the Mank one is still in place. Okay. Now the Mank call is more kind of about the startup steps, you know, and I mean, they do get into welcome, but it's also kind of, you know, here's what it takes to succeed here. The Wednesday call is really not going to have much of anything to do about the system. It's more just going to be, hey, we're really happy to have you on the team, really want to get to know you personally, and, you know, just you know, a chance for me to, you know, plug into your people and help support you all. Let them know, you know, my information, that they can call me directly, you know, not to bypass the interview by any means, but just so they know that there's a support system here. So we'll be doing that every Wednesday. And again, very, very informal call, probably, you know, depending on the number of attendees, 15 to 20 minutes, maybe 30 minutes the most, but no agenda as regards to training or anything like that. So. All right, gang, that's the end of formal announcements. Open the floor to any of you who've got some welcome, some shout outs, any announcements for your teams, anything that you want to bring on.
Yeah, I'll go first. I'm super excited for Adrienne. She wrote another application. She's on her goal to make SNA, and she doesn't post. She didn't post it on Crew, but I will tell you that she's been putting applications together behind the scenes, and then we have some new writers that are coming up. I heard you talk about we need new writers on our team. So you're going to see some of those coming up here real soon. So I'm super excited about that. And there's also another gentleman that you're all going to meet soon that is amazing. I'll share that information later. Anyways, I'm super excited. Just can't wait. I'm watching so much happen behind the scenes. Yeah.
All right, awesome. Congratulations, Adrian. Head for SNA. Keep up the great work. All right, anybody else? Any other shout outs? All right. We're getting my thoughts for the day. And you saw my title, you know, the hamster wheel. And are you on it? And what can you do to get off of it? And, you know, as I was putting my notes together, you know, the thought hit me. I had this concept pop in my mind a couple of days ago, and I'll tell you why here in a minute. But you know, one of the things that attracts us to this business is this opportunity to basically get off the corporate hamster wheel. You know, doing work for other people, building other people's dreams. But you know, one of the challenges is we can jump off one hamster wheel and get on another one. And it's really easy to accidentally do that and not even realize that you're doing it. And so my thought for this morning, and I added this just a few minutes ago to my notes, is: are you on a hamster wheel or are you on a mission? Because those are very, very there's a very thin line between the two. Both of them require you to run hard, and run hard in one direction. But we all know that visual, the hamster wheel, where you're running in place. You know, we've all seen the little rodents in you know, in the pet store, or maybe some of you even have them in your homes, where they're on that wheel and they're running crazy and they're expending a lot of energy, but they're literally going nowhere, and the scenery's not changing. And so again, there's a very fine line between running on that hamster wheel or running you know, that same energy and actually getting somewhere and getting something done. So as we start breaking this down, and again, I'll tell you why I come to, you know, this question this week is are you stuck on a hamster wheel even within this business? We have to first take a step back, and we have to reflect on why you're in this business. So I want everybody just to put aside distraction for a second. I want you to think about, why am I in this business? Why am I really in this business? And I know a lot of times when I'm talking interviewing, it's like, well, I want to make more money. You know, I want to have more time freedom. And those, yeah, those are all what I would call symptoms, but those are not the why. Because when we start breaking it down, you know, the why is more than just making more money, because you could all be making a lot of money. I mean, you could be the, you know, the cartoon Scrooge McDuck sitting in your, you know, in your big vault, sitting on piles of coins. What does that really do for you, though? What does having money do for you? That's where our why is. You know, for some of you, that's, you know, sitting on, you know, a beach with your family because you don't get to take vacations, or you haven't had for several years because of your corporate life. You know, for others, it may be that, you know, that dream piece of property, you know, out in the country because you've lived in an apartment for so long, and you just, you know, you're tired of feeling like you're in a box, and you got people all around you, and you want that, you know, you want that getaway. You know, for others, it's just, you know, again, that's that time freedom. You've spent years giving your life to somebody else and building somebody else's dream. All the while your kids have, you know, grown up playing sports and playing those sports without you there, or going to parties, birthday parties, kids parties without you there. So you have to be centered around that why, because this business does offer freedom. I mean, it does. But I say, to get that freedom, you first have to become a slave. You first have to become a slave to activity, to discipline, You have to become a slave to investment. You have to become a slave to education, because only in only becoming a slave, meaning you have to do those things. You have to submit to that completely and wholly. And that last one, education, because I think that one is the one that I know that's kind of one of those that kind of slides under the radar. That's the one where, I see a lot of people putting in a ton of activity, and yes, activity, that's one of our cornerstones, massive action, constant correction, that massive action piece. But you've got to have growth. You've got to have personal growth. And this is a business where, the people who not only do the most activity, but become the best subject matter experts, make the most money. And it struck me as I was on the Polk call this week that, the FIF reset call on Thursday, and I was scrolling through and like, man, we're missing a lot of folks. We're missing a lot of folks that are not plugging into this FIF reset, this transformational process that could literally pay you, thousands, if not hundreds of thousands of dollars. And then I question, because I can't see, is like, okay, well, I know I'm getting off this Polk call and I'm going straight into Jeremy Miner. And that's a program that literally everybody from a day one brand new green agent wet behind the ears doesn't know a policy from a mousetrap can plug into and start growing their process. And again, I don't know who's on, who's not, but I question is like, well, okay, how many people are plugging into these resources? Because growth doesn't happen without growing and taking time out of our business to plug into this stuff. And it's okay to be temporarily inefficient or disorganized or, going through the growth process. So if somebody's brand new and you don't know what you don't know, that's one thing. But if you're in this business and you're wanting to level up, and I don't care, what level producer you are, if you're a top level producer, those two programs that I just mentioned will take your business and level it up in ways that you will not understand. You don't understand. And so, growing is an intentional process. It takes stopping. It takes, it's almost cliched at this point in our system, but we say it over and over again. I was listening to Ed Milet this morning. He says, you say a lot of old things to new people, but the point being, you say the same things over and over and over again, because that's the only way it gets ingrained in us. And that is, growing takes stopping. Speed takes slowing down. Sometimes you have to stop and work more on your business than you do in your business. And and this is not, because I do see some folks on here who've been plugging into this stuff, and I get that. So it's certainly not to not to call anybody out directly, but this is really kind of a challenge to to all of us to ask, how are we managing our business and what are we plugging into? Because as I've been getting into those programs, the Jeremy Miner program and that FIF reset, just the power in those two to, again, take it from a brand new agent, take it from an agent who's writing $15,000 to $20,000 to $25,000 and turn them into a $50,000, $100,000 a month writers. Guys, that's not, that sounds like hyperbole. It really does. I get that. That sounds like, kind of stupid, crazy. Until you actually go and listen to Jeremy Miner interview the people who are writing $100,000 a month. Until you listen to the people who don't do it off of leads. How many of us are on the hamster wheel of every week? We're just plowing in, and we have a great lead system. This is not to knock our lead system. Obviously, it is a fundamental tool of our business, but we misunderstand what that tool is. That tool is to get us started. That tool is to get that big rock rolling and get that rolling down the hill. But the momentum should come from us not only selling those leads, but helping those leads and their friends and their families and those friends and those families, until a point where you are no longer on the hamster wheel of lead budget, but you're on a new track. That is that mission of helping people because you've helped somebody else. And you know, the reason why I'm really spending so much time on this is it's so easy, and it's easy for me. I'm you know, again, finger points at you, 3 point back at me. It's so easy to say, oh, we got all this stuff, and it's just so many training calls and so much of this and that we overlook the very things that could take our business and level it up if we just slow down. Yes, if I take 2 hours out on a Thursday, that's time I could be putting into something else. But what if I learned something in those 2 hours that would allow me now to compress the next 2 hours down into 15 minutes? Because the tools are allowing me to sort through clients more quickly, to identify the people who are buyers, and convert those more quickly into appointments. Now, this is all voluntary. You know, you don't have to plug into these things, and if you feel like it's more important to go run appointments than during this time, look, that's fine. You know, no judgment here. I'm just saying. I love a quote that Jacob said over the years, and basically he says, you know what, you know, and he equates this to your activity. If you have a goal to write $5,000 in a week, and it comes up on Friday, and you know you maybe have one application in for $1,000, he said you have two choices. You can either go out, work harder, do more activity, or you can lower your goals. It's just quite that simple. There is no other, you know, there is no other equation. And so within that activity, I think a lot of times, and rightly so, we think of activity, well, you can go out and do more activity, make more calls, make more dials, run more appointments. That's all necessary, don't get me wrong. But we overlook this fact that activity includes our personal development, our personal growth. This is a powerful business. And we always start people out on the simple blocks of mortgage protection because it's highly profitable, but it's also simple to learn. And that's a great place to start, and you can make a lot of money there. But if you have a vision where you want to become a top producer, top salesperson, and again, that you're effortlessly writing $50,000 a month, $70,000 a month, $100,000 a month, the only way that happens is if you take time out of your business to work on your business. So my challenge to all of you is to take a hard look at where you're at. And again, you know, this goes for those of us, you know, who've written 10,000 in a week. That's stout. That is getting it done. But what if you wrote 20,000 in a week? You know, what if you wrote 40,000 a week? What would that feel like? And doing it in a way where, again, this is why I love the Jeremy Miner course. I'm kind of coming a fanboy a little bit here, but I think for good reason, because it is such a phenomenal communications training. Not just a sales training, it's a communications, it's a life skill that is going to help you across the board in all phases of your life. Now, one of the things that, and this hit me, you know, as I'm going through this training, and as good as it is with any training, you have to practice. You know, it's you know, all your top level performers, whether it's a top level speaker, you know, an Ed Milet, a Tony Robbins, you know, a Grant Cardone, if it's a professional athlete, you know, if it's a LeBron James, if it's a Tom Brady, you know, if it's somebody who's performing at a high level, if it's in the insurance industry and you see somebody like a Keith Fonseca, you know, or Jordan Hunt, who are going out there and writing $40,000, $50,000 a month. The thing that all of those people, that they all, number one, spend a lot of time in preparation and practice and in training. You know, especially, you know, I've always been fascinated with professional athletes and the amount of money that they spend on personal training. Now, they have teams of trainers around them. They have coaches, they have entire systems. And yet they still go out and they spend hundreds of thousands of dollars of their own money to bring somebody in to work one-on-one with them. How many of us are willing to do that, to invest in ourselves in this business to get to that top level. But within that, there's also a lot of time spent in practice. And this is one of the things that I think we miss a lot of times. We go do these trainings and we get a lot of great material out of it, and we take a lot of notes, and you know, a percentage of it does stick, and a percentage of it we do use, and we do see an increase, but we don't see the increase that we can see because we don't actually go out and practice it. And when I say practice, I mean literally like showing up for football practice, and where you're running through all the plays. It's not full contact, but you're running through all the plays as if you would through a game. So guys, what I'm going to do, because it hit me, I'm like, you know what, we have all these great trainings and we tell everybody to go out and practice, but who are you practicing with? Well, you know, for a lot of us, we got to try to pin our family down, our friends down, our pets down, get them to sit long enough for us to role play. Well, why are we doing that? Why aren't we role playing with the people who are in the business with us and who can understand that interaction? So guys, one of the things that I'm going to be rolling out is on Mondays, and Mondays used to be our training day. We used to have a Monday training call every Monday. It was a national training call. I mean, it was a cornerstone of our business for 10 years until, again, we kind of changed our training recent years and dropped it. But I'm going to be running a role play training every Monday, 2 times a day. Now, guys, this is not going to be a boondoggle where we're getting a call and we're going to spend an hour of your time. This is going to be very targeted, very focused. We're going to be role playing what we're learning week in, week out. I'm going to be doing 9 a.m. Central Time on Monday. I'll do another one at 5:30 Central Time. So I realize some people are working, you know, especially if you're coming into this business and you're working full time somewhere else and you can't make the morning. I want to do that 2 separate times. Guys, these are going to be 15 minutes. Right now, I'm just starting out 15 minutes. This is not going to be a chunk of your week out, but we do want to be very intentional. So we're going to come to this and we are going to role play. Starting Monday, I'm going to role play FIF with somebody, whoever shows up. It may be just me staring at the screen, if that's fine if it is. But I'm hoping some of you take the challenge and show up and we role play. We may not have enough time to role play with everybody that's on. I think that would be a beautiful thing if we had too many people on there and we don't have enough time for everybody to get a chance to go. But hey, show up on Monday morning, and if we don't get a chance to role play with you, show up again Monday afternoon and we'll get you in the rotation. This is going to be real time, meaning we're going to role play as if we're clients and feed back and forth the lines that we're learning through these trainings, through FIF, through Jeremy Miner. This will be an opportunity for you to take what you're putting your time into studying, and now actually get to regurgitate that back out to somebody else and get real-time feedback. Because I get how hard it is, guys, to learn this stuff, and it sounds so good, and you can get it down in your head, and you can say it to a mirror just perfectly, and then you go live with it, and it feels like you're choking on your words. So this is going to be an opportunity for you to actually show up, study throughout the week, go to these trainings and work throughout the weekend. And then Monday morning, as you're getting prepped for your week of appointments, okay, I've worked on this. How's it going to sound in real time? How's it going to sound me singing out loud to somebody who's giving me feedback and maybe even giving me a little bit of static? Giving me some pushback on what I'm giving them. Give me a chance to move on my feet and think through that process. So again, and we'll get a graphic put together on that. Ashley's getting all kinds of instructions in real time here, so we're putting her to the test. But 9 a.m. On Central on Monday, and then 5:30 in the afternoon, also Central on Monday. And again, short role play sessions, guys. Opportunity, but I challenge you to plug into these trainings and come ready to play when we practice on Mondays. Guys, it's what I had on the agenda. I know Stella had texted me and she wanted to share a quick thought with you this morning, and always love to hear from Stella on what she's got to share. So Stella, I'm going to turn the floor over to you.
Oh, you're so kind, Chris. Thank you so much. I don't think there's going to be enough time, but it's all good. I will share with you though, because I love everything that you said. And I took a lot of notes about, really just your whole concept of kind of, going slower to go faster, and and the training part of it, and the big training part of it, which I'm sure everybody can agree with, everybody here who's ever gone to cohort training or any kind of training, like none of us, let us not forget, the power of our mindset. Like that is so huge, because if we don't have the belief that we can actually help people or the person in front of us, if we don't have that assumption, like you mentioned, Keith Fonseca, he will tell you, people like Lee Jed, John Paul, like every one of these, real high level writers, like Lee Jed writes, over 10,000 every week consistently. I think he did it for like, oh my gosh, 10 months in a row. They will all tell you it's all about the mindset that you can believe, because what you can believe, you can achieve. And I just can't say enough about it. I heard something recently on the lines of, we will, he said, it's Brian Tracy said it, it's not so much that you, and I say this because I know that, there's, if there is anybody out there struggling, we don't believe what we see what we believe. So if we see that we're struggling and we see that, gosh, maybe this person, the next, oh, it's going to be another tough day, it's going to be tough on yourself. But if you go out there with the mindset, and I say this to a lot of new people, that, because I know this is being recorded, that when you go out there, it's tough, it can be tough. And they say the general rule of thumb, when you talk about training, you want to at least sit in front of 30 people, not make appointments, but actually sit in front of 30 people before you'll actually start to feel a little bit more confident, and it's not, doesn't mean that you're not going to help those first 30 people. It's just, it's going to be super awkward. And so just, going in there with that assumption and that mindset of, of having that belief that you can, that, your heart's in it for those families to help them. And I love what you said about really focusing on helping not only the person that you're in your appointment with, but who else do they know that they can refer you to? We just had that big, huge focus with Jesse Backbrack, who was came on as a guest, and talked about referrals. And so I literally re-listened to that recording, and I literally verbatim typed up what he said. And I love it because there's a lot of assumptive words in there. And when I started practicing it, that's when I wrote 20,000. It didn't show on the leaderboard. It only showed up like 13,000 because, I learned that they only put the targeted amount from the IULs, even though this guy was, paying $1,000 a month on 2 different plans for him and his wife. They don't show that full APV. It's kind of like the annuities. But anyways, I say all this not to impress you, but to impress upon you the effects of applying the referral process, asking for the referrals. I don't get a referral from everybody that I sit with, but they trust you enough to let you help them. So they're going to, you built upon that, and they're going to refer other people. And that one referral that I ended up writing 18,000 on, the person they referred to me, that person referred to me somebody else. And then that was like a $1,500 APV. These are bonus leads. And, Sydney Lee, who she had an urgent matter this morning, she couldn't be here. She sent me a note. I wish she was here. And one of these times we're going to have her talking, because that girl is the queen of referrals. And it's funny because she's almost on the opposite end of the spectrum as Jesse, because Jesse's very assertive. And so if you feel like, I don't know if I can be like that, you have Sydney, who has the biggest heart in the whole world. Not that Jessie doesn't. Jessie has a huge heart. But Sydney, who has a big heart, but it's more of a soft approach. But it's because she's investigative. She's constantly investigative. And I love what she shared with our team meeting when we talked about, DFL and renewals, or sorry, DFL and annuities. She said, tell yourself, I am a professional problem solver, because that's what we are. We're professional problem solvers. And again, that comes to your mindset. So when you go into a meeting, even if you're brand new, what are you thinking about? Because we all know what you dwell upon, that's what you're going to get. So, take captive of, what thoughts are going on through your mind, what are, because whatever you're thinking about, that's what's going to come out of your heart and your mouth. That is what's going to come out. And I love what Ashley Tarr said a long time ago about also, just taking inventory of your thoughts throughout the day, because it can get mundane dialing. It can get, to being like, oh my gosh, another person, that said no, thank you. But guess what? Those no's get us closer to those yeses. And I think, some of the challenge for sometimes new people that don't last very long is because they're just so short of all those yeses. So they give up too early. So I just, I kind of set all that on the cusp based on, a lot of the information that you just shared that I just thought about. But the other topic that I wanted to share, I'll save that for a team meeting, because, I love what I've been learning here. It's, I'm nobody, but what I've done is I've been a good student and a sponge of what this system has taught me, what you've taught me, what everybody else that has spoken about how to do this process, how to have the mindset. I mean, across the board, every single call we have, you're always going to hear them talk about mindset, because that is the biggest key ingredient. Yes, all the training is important, but if you don't have a belief in yourself or in helping people, you're going to struggle. So I'm just going to challenge you, take inventory of your thoughts. If you find yourself, thinking a negative thought, or a fearful thought, because fear is a liar. Fear is the thief of all your hopes and dreams. Fear is the number one thing that's going to hold you back. So remember that. So if you have a fearful thought, or you have a, negative thought, capture it, crush it, and turn it around, replace it with a positive one that, no, I got this. Even if your day isn't going your way, that I've got this, that person's waiting for me. So I'm going to challenge everybody, including myself, to always replace those thoughts. So that's, I'll get off my soapbox on that, but I love all of that, because that's what's helped me to produce, at 30,000 APV and above, pretty consistently, is that mindset. Because again, I'm nobody, I don't have, a ton of sales experience, like a bunch of people coming in here, and, and I have my own challenges, but I'm always determined. I always believe that I can. And I'm always asking myself, how can I get better? How can I get better? And that bleeds into my own personal life with my family. And that's been, sorry, it makes me emotional. Think about it, how much I've grown personally with my own family, communicating better with my kids. That personal growth has just been so huge. I love it so much. And that's the number one thing I love about being here, is being able to find personal growth. Sorry.
Awesome. No apologies there. That was phenomenal sharing. Thank you, Stella. And certainly the poster child for somebody digging in and becoming a true student of the system. So gang, that is what we have on tap for today. Thank you all for plugging in. Make sure that you again are blocking out on your calendars these trainings. Where I have some graphics coming up for the new stuff they're going to be doing. Role play on Monday. Look forward to seeing you all bright and early, 9 a.m. Monday morning. Have a great weekend.